Good morning, children. Hope you all are fine and doing well. Dear children, today we are going to do number pattern. Our objectives are to identify the pattern and describe number patterns in increasing and decreasing order. To extend the number pattern. Dear children, before start our new lesson, let's review the previous lesson. Do you remember which lesson teacher taught you in last class? Yes, we have done picture pattern. In picture pattern, we have done repeated pattern and growing pattern. Let's review the repeated pattern. Now dear children, there is an example of repeated pattern. So look at the screen, there are some shapes. Look at the first shape. Yes, there are two blue rectangles. Then again one red triangle. Two blue rectangles, one red triangles. Two blue rectangles. So dear children, what do you think what come next? A red triangle or a blue rectangle? Yes, think about it. Great. A red triangle. Very good. Dear children, there is one more example of repeated pattern. Look at the picture. First picture. There is a cat, ball. Cat, ball. Cat. So what do you think what come next? A cat or a ball? Yes, think about it. Great, a ball. Dear children, we have revised our previous topic. Now we are going to start our new topic. Before start our lesson, first of all, let's watch the video very carefully. Then teacher will ask questions about it.
Hello, let's practice our increasing patterns. An increasing pattern is different than a repeating pattern. If you remember, a repeating pattern has a core, and that core repeats again and again and again. It always stays the same. In a repeating pattern, you can label the elements and use that to help you predict what comes next. Today, though, we'll be talking about a different kind of pattern, one that does not have a core. Take a look. This is an example of an increasing pattern. Increasing means growing. In this pattern, I started out with 1, and then when I went to the next term or figure, at the beginning it was exactly the same as the last term, but I grew by 1. I got 1 bigger. Next, moving to the term after that, it started out the same, but then once again, it got 1 bigger. It grew by 1. Let's see if that same rule holds true, moving to the next term. Same, growing by 1. This is an increasing pattern because every time I move to the next term, it gets bigger and bigger. This pattern rule is starting at 1, increasing by, can you guess? Increasing by 1. What that means is every time I move to the next term, I get 1 bigger, 1 bigger, 1 bigger. This is my pattern rule. Can you figure out how many dots would come in the next term? See if you can draw them. Start by copying the last term. Same. And now make it one bigger. That's right. There's 5 dots in the last term. Let's try another increasing pattern. This is an increasing pattern too. Let's see. At the beginning, I started out with 3 X's. And then when I moved to the next term, it looks the same as the last one, except it's 2 bigger. Let's compare this term with the next one. Same, but 2 bigger. To write this pattern rule, you would say, starting at 3, because that's the number I started with, and then you would say, increasing, which means growing, increasing by 2. That means every time you get to the next term, you grow 2 bigger. You increase by 2 every step of the way. Can you figure out how many X's to draw in the next term? To figure it out, draw exactly what you had in the last term. I'll copy it. Same. And now you have to grow by 2 or increase by 2. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 X's in that last term. Patterns can shrink too. They don't always have to grow. This time, let's talk about the opposite, a decreasing pattern. Decreasing means getting smaller, even though increasing means getting bigger. Take a look.